Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to Elimination Chamber out of 10. A daytime pay-per-view for once. Absolutely love to see it. Elimination Chamber, stacked card, lots going on. And on the pre-show we had Rey Mysterio defeat The Miz before we headed to the main card, which we also had lots going on. So let's straight into it with Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. Roman had the early advantage and got some strikes in before sending Goldberg out of the ring. Goldberg sent Reigns into the barricades before things went back inside and Roman unloaded on the Hall of Famer. Goldberg got a spear but countered to jackhammer and a urinal for a near fall. Roman then hit Superman punch before setting up for the finisher, but Goldberg cut him off with a spear. Goldberg tried for the finisher again, but Roman locked in the guillotine. Goldberg struggled, but eventually got out, letting Roman picked up on the win. Goldberg did get to the ropes in time though, and it should have been a break in favour, but the referee called it in Roman's favour. Bit of a weird ending, kind of to protect Goldberg, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it leads to return for Goldberg Open, we'll see. But you know, the match itself, it was decent enough. I'll give it 7 out of 10. Roman Reigns can march onto WrestleMania. Before it's time for the women's chamber match, the match kicked off with Lita and Nikki in the ring. Nikki had the early advantage, but chose to taunt Ripley and Alexa, taking down Morgan, which let Morgan have the upper hand. Doudrop then came in and took down Nikki. Morgan got the same treatment and was trying to sneak up on her before Rhea Ripley was out next and went towards Nikki. Nikki ran to her and kind of cage wall before Ripley went after her and brought her down and got the Riptide to first score the first elimination. Alexa Bliss was next in. Bliss came in and was dominating. Morgan took Bliss out and had an encounter with Doudrop when Doudrop was then eliminated by Liv Morgan with a roll-up. Bianca Belair was in next and wiped out Morgan with a deadlift before facing Ripley. Ripley and Belair ended up working together to take out Alexa and Liv. Ripley then dodged the KOD and came in with a twisted double knees before Alexa Bliss hit Twisted Bliss on Liv Morgan and eliminated her. Belair then managed to hit the KOD on Rhea Ripley, eliminating her. Alexa and Belair remained and Bliss was being bounced off the chain link cage before Bianca went for a top rope move. Alexa rolled out of the way and went for a DDT, but Bianca got out of it twice and got the KOD to pick up the win. And Belair's going to WrestleMania. Yeah, the match that we all wanted. Really good match. Great to see Alexa back, and for me, definitely the right result. So 7 out of 10. Before it's Charlotte and Sonya versus Ronda and Naomi. Sonya and Ronda kicked off the match with Ronda having one time behind her back. Deville looked like she was faking her post-armbar injury. Deville got kicked in the face a few times before the tag was made, and Naomi came in to face Sonya. Deville dropped Naomi in the corner for a near fall before Rousey was back in, and Charlotte and Flair managed to isolate her. Rousey took a beating, and Charlotte went and took Naomi out with a top rope with a clean shot. Rousey then managed to fight back and almost got the tag, but Flair brought her back and worked one arm, and she was able to use it before Naomi came in and took out Charlotte with a kick before hitting a big move to the outside. Back in the ring, Flair got a powerbomb for a near fall, and Deville came in as well as Ronda. Ronda got the Piper's Pit before going for the armbar, making Sonya tap out and picking up the victory. Yeah, another decent match. Stipulation certainly added some interest. I'll give it 7 out of 10. And obviously it will lead to their respective feuds at WrestleMania. Next up was Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss. Corbin was at ringside with Moss as the match continued, and two of them ran away. Drew managed to take them both out and drag Moss to the outside where Corbin interfered, and Drew chased him up the ramp. Moss then took a boot into the face and was sent into the LED boards before he and Corbin got a double suplex on McIntyre for a near fall. McIntyre dragged Moss into the ring and got the reverse Alabama stand before Corbin pulled out his way for the Claymore. Moss was sent over the announce desk before Corbin came back with a steel chair, and they teamed up and sent Drew through the barricades. Drew got a suplex before getting a near fall. Corbin tried to interfere with it but hit the Claymore one more. Drew got his sword and held it out to fend him off as he got the finisher for the pin. Yeah, I'll give it 6 out of 10. Kind of, we've already seen it once before. It was alright. I'll give it 6 out of 10. Next up was Becky Lynch versus Lita. Lynch tried for an early disarm her, but Lita countered it and sent her into the corner. Becky slapped her in the face before Lita dodged a kick and got a slap of her own. Lynch dodged the twist of fate before Becky unloaded on her. Lita tried to get back in control, but was caught up in the ropes as Becky hit a top rope leg drop. Lita got DDT off the counter and hit some clotheslines before getting near fall off a crossbody. Becky tried for the disarmer, but Lita countered and tried to sleeper hold. Lynch took a powerbomb for a near fall before getting a near fall off the twist of fate. Becky got the disarmer and Lita was about to break out, but Becky got the manhandle slam for another near fall. Becky then tried a moonsault, but Lita rolled away and came out with twist of fate and got a near fall. Lynch then managed to hit another manhandle slam and picked up the win. Yeah, this was a really great match. Exceeded all of my expectations. Lita, please hope she stays for a long run. 8 out of 10. This was great stuff. Next up, the Usos were set to face the Viking Raiders. The Usos attacked the Vikings before the match, and it was called off just like that, very random. Before it was time for the men's elimination chamber match, Austin and Beth kicked off the match, and Rollins got an early stingray, taking control of the match. Theory then got a big toss and a fisherman suplex before getting near fall. Rollins sent Theory outside and into the cage wall before sending him into Lashley's pod. Riddle was in next and went after Seth. Before Rollins got counted out. WWE officials were checking on Lashley before Riddle took an inverted suplex from the top rope. Lashley was escorted out of the chamber and Styles was in next. Styles then hit some big moves on Rollins before Riddle was joined in their fight while the other three were on the rope. Theory took Rollins and AJ out. Riddle then hit the floating bra on Theory as it continued. Lashley was sent to enter next, but he was nowhere to be seen, so Brock broke out of his cage and unleashed. He eliminated literally everyone. And Austin Theory was running for his life, being the last one left in the ring, and was sent through a pod once more before taking a big suplex onto the cage. Theory got a low blow and a DDT, but it wasn't enough. Theory tried to escape, and he was on the top of the cage, and Lesnar F5'd him off it. Really cool spot, and Lesnar became the new champion. Yeah, this was really weird. Don't know what happened to Bobby Lashley. Hope he's alright, and it was just all of the storyline and everything like that. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, it was a decent match, but I kind of would have liked more stuff rather than them destroying each other, but we'll see where it goes. Overall, Elimination Chamber 2022 gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a decent show, to be honest. I mean, like, it wasn't one of the great pay-per-views I've ever seen, but, you know, it's still decent enough. Lots going on, lots of storyline building for WrestleMania. So, yeah, I thought it was a relatively good show, but without being an all-time classic, 'cause you know where I'm coming from. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Any thoughts, comments down below. Follow us this link, subscribe for daily wrestling news. Subscribe to the channel, subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.